All right, guys. Today we are preparing for our first lab. It is called the Penny Lab. And as you can see here, I have all my materials ready to go. I'm going to need a pencil, my paperwork, which was my science notebook. I need an eyedropper, water, which is contained in this cup, a penny, and the one thing that's not in the lab, but anytime we use a liquid, you guys need to come to class with a paper towel. Now this paper towel, I pulled the lever 3 times. That's it, 3 times. And this is how much I got. All right, I'm gonna show you how to do the lab today so that when you walk into class, you'll know what's going on and you'll be able to fully complete the observations and data section of your lab. So we did this part yesterday. My guess was that my drops of water would be 8. So I'm going to flip my page to page 10, which is where the actual steps of my lab are, after I've gotten my materials. Now how we're going to do the materials, you should each with your partner, so it's going to be you and your partner, will have a cup of water for each of, for one group of you. And you'll be, have one eyedropper between you. So not every person needs their own eyedropper and their own penny. But every person should bring a paper towel. So you have 2 paper towels. One for the lab and one to clean up when you're done. Okay, so I'm going to put this one over on the side. Here's how I want you to set up. You're going to take your lab and you're going to place the lab over all the way to the edge so it doesn't get water on it. You put the paper towel in between the 2 of you, the penny in the middle. Okay? Now it says, fill the eyedropper with water. That's step number 1. Now here's how you fill it with water. You take the eyedropper outside of the water and push down on it. That pushes the air out of the eyedropper. Put it into the water and it sucks up water. Now you'll see there's a level of water there. Now mine's full. Now if yours doesn't get full, let's say it only gets like this far, that's probably enough. But if you want more, just push down again and try it. Okay? All right, now I've got my water. I want to get all the little droppers off and make sure it's not falling by accident. Step 2 says, place the water drop by drop on the penny while counting the drops until the bubble breaks. So what you're going to do is you're going to start dropping them onto this penny. While one person drops the drops on the penny, the other person will make the count. So you both have a job to do while this is going on. So if I drop it, it's hard to drop and count at the same time, but I'm experienced, so I can do this. Okay, so I do 1. Okay, and see how it lands there? 2. All right, now that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm going to let you guys see what happens to the rest. But let me give you some hints on how to drop the water. Okay. All right, so here's some hints. My suggestion to you is look at the angle of my dropper. It's a little bit crooked. It's not straight up and down. It's not straight sideways. It's a little bit in the middle, about a 45-degree angle. Notice I'm not dropping them from way up here, and I'm not touching the penny. I'm about 1 inch above the penny. That gives me enough room to let it drop, but not so much that it'll pop it simply from dropping. As your bubble gets bigger and bigger, you want to stay away from the edge of the bubble. You don't want to touch it with the dropper or the drop that you're starting, okay? Now as I drop it, another hint would be to continue dropping. You don't want to go super fast, like you don't want to push it out. If you push it out too fast, it'll go and squish out a whole bunch, okay? But you want to go at a steady pace. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. That way it's easy for the other person to count while you're doing it, okay? Now, at the end of 2, once it breaks and you see it break like this, it'll make a little puddle. Then you come over here and for trial number 1, you're gonna write in whatever your count was. So if it was 6, you write a 6, okay? Then I move on to trial 2. Well, if you look at number 4 here, it says repeat steps 1 through 3 more times. So I go back to number 1 and do it again. Okay? Now, on trial 2, I want you to switch partners. Trial 3, switch back. And then trial 4, switch one more time. which means both of you should be able to do it twice each. If you don't have a partner for this, you can either get in a group of 2 and all 3 of you guys do it together, or you can do it by yourself. I will say, if you do it by yourself, it is a little harder to count, okay? Now, when you draw the picture, let me show you what I need to do for the picture. Okay, I'll put a couple drops on my... Oh, when you're done, you need to clean off your penny. That's what I forgot to tell you. Once you've broken the seal, you bring it over here to the edge where it's dry, and you have to dry off your penny. Okay, it has to be totally dry. You need to start the second trial in a new place. Okay, that way all of this over here doesn't mess up my my surface tension. Let me show you. I'm going to do a couple drops here, and I'll show you how to... Okay, so there's a few of my drops. Now, how I want to look at the penny. Hopefully, you can see this in the video. What I'm going to do is move this a little bit so you can see me. Okay, I am going to physically get out of my seat and come down to this level. I'm going to go all the way down to the level of the table so I can look at my penny sideways, okay? Then I'm going to draw it the way I see it. So really, everyone should pretty much have a long rectangle because that is your penny, okay? So everyone should have that part. See how I drew the rectangle right there? Okay, that's your penny. Then you draw what you see on top of the penny. Now I want you to do that when there's a lot of drops dropped on it, okay? So you be the judge of that, but you'll know what I mean after you do it a couple times, okay? I don't want to give away the secret spoilers, okay? When you're all done, today you're going to do a Making Meaning conference. Now it says on your paper, during the class discussion, okay, it's not a full class discussion, it's just going to simply be you and your partner, and maybe the people on the other side of the table if they're done at the same time as you. We're going to talk about what you saw happen, okay? If you get done with that, you're going to read a book until everyone's done, okay? We may have pages 11 and 12. We may end up having you guys staple those into your book on pages 11 and 12, obviously. And then when I come back on Thursday, we're going to talk about these 2 pages, and we're going to work on these together. That way you know what's going on. Okay? Well, hopefully this was a little bit of an assistance to help you get ready for your lab tomorrow. Notice how I didn't have any water. I just used the same paper towel, cleaned it up. You have a reserve one. If you don't use this, give it to the substitute so that he can save it for the next class. Because there's always someone that ends up having a little bit of a water catastrophe. I think that's all for this lab. So good luck to you guys tomorrow. And I will see you guys on Thursday.